Hi everyone, Sunstrider here, and today's video will be a quick one as we are going to discuss yesterday's version 3.6 special program. At a glance, there will be a new area that will bring us closer to Khaenri'ah mystery, lots of events, new artifacts, 2 new bosses that look strong as fuck, and one of the special program's highlights, 2 new Dendro units, Beizhu and Kaveh. Finally, after a long time, we are going to see one of Genshin Impact early Dendro units in action, and based on the trailer that I see, he's going to live up to his expectations as a doctor by becoming a Dendro healer in the game. Kaveh, on the other hand, somehow exceeded my expectations by having an ability that allows Dendro cores to burst immediately. Yes, I know that some of you might be reminded of Nilou's first constellation, but try to see him as more free-to-play friendly Dendro Nilou. Now, with this piece of information, I think you can start saving and planning your next pull carefully. I personally see Beizhu's entire kit, or in this case the Dendro application, is rather lackluster when compared with other Dendro units application like Nahida. The way I see it, Nahida's Dendro application is one of the best at the moment on top of her overall kit that, depending on the team that you bring, can either increase the 3 karma's damage, duration, or interval. If we put all the game's current Dendro characters in a side-to-side fashion and see their Dendro application, no one beats the speed of Nahida applying Dendro to the enemy. Considering that Beizhu is a healer or support in the game, you might argue that's why his Dendro application is slow compared to other units like Dendro DPS and off-field support, and that's true. However, my biggest concern comes after seeing how slow his elemental skill travels and jumps between enemies. Looking at how slow the sprite travels, I can't help but to think that Beizhu needs a longer on-field time, and as a support, that doesn't seem to be a good sign. Hopefully, we can switch him with our DPS or off-field support when he uses his elemental skills, so we don't have to wait for the entire sprite to finish its cruise. Does Beizhu have a certain secret hidden mechanic that might give players a certain advantage on patch 3.6? Unless it does, Hoyoverse needs to plan their character release carefully, because releasing an Archon early on to the game with their godly level kit might undercut the other upcoming Dendro units. Moving on to Kaveh, I personally more interested with him because 1, his abilities that burst Dendro cores within the range of his ability, and 2, as a 4-star Dendro unit, I think Kaveh will allow player to at least experience what it feels like to have a Dendro DPS, especially for those of you who couldn't get your hand on Alhaitham. To conclude today's video, I'd like to point out Hoyoverse's rationale behind a character release, because after Deya and Mika, I think Beizhu won't live up to everyone's expectation, simply because there's Nahida, the Dendro Archon, along with her kit and choices of healer unit that resonate better with her kit. Should Beizhu release a few patches earlier, let's say around when Sumeru first came out, then the story will be entirely different and even favoring him, given that he's been in the game longer than the rest of the newly released character. And of course, I base my information and keep comparing her and the rest of the new released Dendro unit. However, if you don't have her, you might look for other in-depth video and see how these 2 new units can fit to your entire team. Well, what do you guys think? Have you guys decided on what to pull during the patch 3.6? And do you guys think that Hoyoverse should have released Beizhu early on to the game? Comment below and let's discuss.